Now, if you regularly suffer from burnout, mental health illness symptoms, or neurodivergence overwhelm, you might actually have a dysfunctional feminine wound. And in this video, I'm going to talk about how to identify if you are more masculine or left brain dominant or feminine and right brain dominant, and then how to determine what are the symptoms of a masculine wound versus a feminine wound and how to fix it. Now, we live in a very masculine or left brain focused society. Everything is about structure, routine, consistency, goals, force, discipline, a 3-year goal, a 5-year goal, a 10-year goal. Always focused on output, productivity, and really doing it in progressive, consistent ways. And this really works well for some people. They set the goal, they can achieve the goal. And in fact, if they didn't have a goal, they wouldn't know what to do with all of their energy. But some people are more right brain or feminine dominant. They are inconsistent. They are very focused on input. They get a lot of energetic and sensory information. They are very focused on insights, innovation, creativity, intuition. They have cyclical energy. They function up and down throughout the day, or they might have very emotional energy. So sometimes they get a lot done very fast in their high productivity periods, or when the energy and the motivation and the emotional desire is there, and then it completely dies off and they have no energy at all. And what happens is they very easily go into dysfunctional burnout because they try to operate in a very progressive masculine way, right? They try to set the goal, but if the energy isn't there, if they have no desire, they have no emotion, they just get stuck in procrastination or demand avoidance or low motivation or just feeling really dull and having zero desire to do it because they can't actually force themselves or discipline themselves. And if they stay there trying to force themselves, they just go deeper and deeper into burnout and deeper into that procrastination. But if they actually just learnt to follow their cycles and stepped away and allowed for the insights and the innovation and the idea to develop and form, when it's ready, then they can go back and get it out very quickly. And this is why they have cyclical energy and why they need a lot of rest. They do their best work in their mind. They're input focused. So they need a lot of rest and clarity and solitude in order to understand what it is that they're trying to say or what their idea is or how to do a project or how to move forward. They get the clarity by resting. So they really do not function in these masculine goal-based processes. So the symptoms of a dysfunctional feminine wound will be constant burnout or really low motivation, lots of procrastination, always feeling like you're lazy, always feeling like you have to force yourself and push yourself. It might also be that you have lots of ideas, lots of energetic or sensorial input or sensitivities. You might get really tired after social events, for example, right? You need lots of downtime and processing time and solitude after you're in a public space, right? You need to process all that information. And if you don't allow that space, this is when all that input, all those millions of ideas and creativity and intuition will get stuck in overthinking and heightened anxiety and really big emotional swings or irritability. You can really tell when your system starts getting tight like a knot because it really heightens all of those mental health symptoms or neurodivergence sensitivities. So you can really tell when you need to step away and rest or shut down. And if you don't, your body will shut down. And actually these people often go into dysfunctional or functional freeze. Their body will completely shut down, or they often will have kind of flu-like symptoms or sicknesses or illnesses or aches and pains that never really turn into anything. They might even have stomach pains. So if that sounds like you, look for the places, the times, the situations, or the people that make you feel like that. Or look at the times when you're forcing yourself and step away and see if trying a different approach or a more right brain, free flow, asking yourself how you feel like in the moment or what you need to do in the moment, and see if that then resolves the problem. See if walking away and coming back later actually fixes that procrastination. These people also tend to have only very short times of focus. And when the focus is there, the motivation is there, the energy is there, the passion is there, and they can go down a rabbit hole for hours. And that's the big factor, actually. A lot of these people will say that they never get anything done and they have a million ideas and they're constantly procrastinating. But ask yourself if you sometimes still have the ability to get stuck down a rabbit hole for hours, right? When you're passionate, when the energy is there. That's usually a sign that you have a dysfunctional feminine wound. This is because they also have cyclical focus. It's on and then it's off, and then they won't be able to focus at all for like the next few hours. That's okay. Ride with it. You can maximize your productivity and focus in cycle waves. You're not broken. You're allowed to be inconsistent. And these people tend to be inconsistently consistent. They are consistent over time, but they are rarely consistent each day. Now, what happens if you have a masculine wound? Well, the reality is that everybody needs a balanced masculine feminine. You can't be 100% all one. If you are only masculine based, then when do you allow that freedom and that free flow and that passion to come in? When do you allow yourself to listen to your body and say, I really want to do that, or I don't really want to do that? If you're always setting goals and always sticking to your to-do list, it really can restrict that ability for passion to come in the moment, right? Maybe you get a sudden flare of like, I really want to do that, but you're like, oh no, but I have to stick to my goals, or I have to stick to my to-do list today. So these people, maybe they achieve everything they've ever wanted. They get so much done each day, but they might actually lack fulfillment and contentment. Or they might really lack that feeling of purpose, because it's really hard to have purpose without passion. And it's the same with the feminine. If you are only 100% feminine with no masculine energy or imbalanced masculine energy, then you'll never actually get anything done. You'll be all ideas and all intuition, but no integration. All input, but zero output. So even if you are very right brain dominant, you will still have to have moments of putting all those ideas into implementation, all that flow into form, right? So we all need the masculine and the feminine, but because we've been taught to stick to systems, literally the education system, the work system, the 9 to 5, the Monday to Friday, these are all systems that we've grown up with. But some people really do not function in those systems. So a lot of people need to find their rebalance of how much masculine left brain approach do they need and how much feminine right brain approach do they need. And as much as everybody has a unique genetic DNA, your unique mix will be different to the person next to you. And so you really have to find specifically what works for you through lots of experimentation and trying new schedules and trying new routines, walking away or forcing yourself and seeing which one helps you reduce all of that emotional and sensorial overwhelm, how to get those millions of ideas into one product, or how to master those waves of high productivity and then high creative rest, or that time for insight and idea generation. Let me know if this resonates with you, and please share your story of which one you think might be working for you or which one might be your wound, and I'd love to hear examples and your personal experiences.